Yo, hey Clay, check it out. We're talking about terraforming Mars. It's very simple. You're thinking of it too complicated with the caterpillar and the building the bricks and everything. You don't need to know any of that. There's one simple way you do it. You do it like a computer recursion. We land rovers, which make more rovers, and these make solar towers, right? I did this back in April. I called it self-replicating robots that conquer the whole universe, and I said, well, conquering is a weird way, weird thing to call it, right? So I changed it, and well, long story short, take opportunity or spirit, right? You got like four wheels. They'll take the back wheels off or whatever, and then this one will like have a dragging chassis. You have a dragging chassis, right? And it has two wheels in the front, right? So you have a robot that literally has just two wheels, right? Now what you do is you drag these wheels, which are wider than the smelter, and you drag regolith, which is the dirt of the planetoid. It could be Phobos, Mars, or Deimos, right? And you drag it into the smelter. The smelter gets really hot. You have a nuclear reactor to provide electricity and solar tower, solar panels. You expand, extract. I mean, what was it like? Man, there's a word that eludes me, but you set up the solar panels, and what happens is you got solar and you have nuclear. Now you have like a little bit of power, right? You just power to make the smelter really hot, and the regolith turns in ingot or whatnot. So you take the ingot out and clear it out with another robot that has more. That's a couple axis of rotation, right? And then you do that, repeat, repeat, repeat. You're building a bunch of ingots of various metals, right? Now you take those ingots, and if you want to, you can melt them down and put them into a cast. So that back end of the robot, the back end of the robot over here, right? The wheels up front, and then this is the stuff dragging on. You can put this part like the chassis part, right? But how do you make the motors, right? Well, you make the motors because you take that metal, you go through an extruder because you'll have to send an extruder over, right? It makes wire, right? Make this wire spin it up. Insulate it. There's a way of insulating it off the Mars atmosphere. So make wire, insulate it, spin it. Now you have an electric motor. Now you have an electric generator, right? So you use the motors, and you slap them on the wheels. And you take the wires or radio control, if you set it with the spaceship on here, and now it's driving along. You know, I would say just take the power straight to the your Arduino and your CPU, right? So what's the magic of this? Why couldn't you have done this before? Why did it take James Sager to make the self-replicating robots? I disconnected the camera and the CPU from the replication process, so just all metal. Okay, I'm the author of the smartphone. I developed LM AI. I'm not credited with those, but no one else in the world is making self-replicating robots and terraforming entire planets with it. Elon wanted to launch a nuke at Mars back when he didn't know what was going on, right? Gonna terraform it somehow. No one's gonna get hurt if we nuke it, right? No, 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 dude. Elon, take the finger off the button, right? All you do is you coat the whole planet in solar towers and robots. Now you have it under capture of robots and solar towers. You don't need people, Clay. I'm sorry. I know you're an astronaut. You like to have hands-on people. These are robots just taking over uh, entire planets and building everything for us. AI could tell it what to make. You make hydroponic gardens, and from hydroponic gardens, it could harvest and make wooden handles if you want, but it'll be metal handles. We're bootstrapping entire planetoids, Phobos, Mars, and Deimos, into paradise planets, right? And we'll do it with Mercury too. You don't need an atmosphere. We're going underground, right? 2 kilometers underground, and Mars can house like quadrillions of people, and they get nice, comfy 5,000 square foot area apartments, right? So this is James Sager's invention. I emailed SpaceX's supplier launch. Supplier launch at SpaceX.com. Tesla, they know about this. When you hear about Elon talking about going Nuemann machines, about Nuemann probes, that's me. When you hear Sam Altman buzzing about self-replicating robots, that you land probes and take over a planet and it fires another rocket to the next one, that's me, right? So where you were thinking about making bricks and caterpillar and stuff, that's old thought. I mean, I come from old thought. I'm in the '80s. I remember thinking we're gonna make big agricultural gardens in space, and they're gonna. The hardest part about space travel is making sure we have enough food and water and biospheres and stuff, right? I come from that line of thought, but I learned over time computers can automate stuff. You do stuff and it's called recursion. It keeps making more. So you keep making more and more robots. They just cluster over across the entire planetoid, cluster it in, and you have solar towers all around things. You have your energy supplies, and you have your robots doing everything. These robots can find radiation, find places for us to be safe because there's no radiation. They can use the radiation, put it all in one big pile, make pebble bed reactors. They can make fission. They can make chainsaws. They can make cars. They can make your house have all sorts of cool art, right? So you could pipe sunlight in from the surface of a series of mirrors to the people downstairs, right? So you don't need people other than for them to make their art and do their hobbies. Life has become, as we know it, uh, you don't have to work unless you want to, right? It'll be all a bunch of play. Everybody gets to play their video games. They'll be able to make video games. AI very soon is going to make it so you can change a movie, change the actors in the movie, change the scenes in the movie, have the Titanic not sink. But also for video games, you'll be able to say, well, I'm playing Super Mario Brothers. Let's add a couple levels. I want to add some more bosses in Zelda 2. I want Castlevania Symphony of the Night go on for a long time. So we'll have that. You'll be able to party all the time, right? And we got rich people who are trying to control the world, but you know, there's the free people who want to do their arts, their hobbies, and stuff like me. So, Clay, just long story short, you don't have to worry about Caterpillar and all the construction companies. The robots will do it all for you. You don't have to be all dragon robots. They don't have to be all these dragon robots that drag their tail. You can add access. You can add multiple access. And you assemble with the access thing. You can have Optimus robots there. And if you can't capture Mars because it's too hard to capture Phobos Deimos, those are space stations that people could put on wearable body things and move Optimus on Mars. Like people still talking about Mars. Mars is the easiest thing to capture on the planet. Uh, it's the easiest planet to capture on the planet. It's the easiest thing in the world. Mars is the easiest thing in the world. Which world? But anyway, long story short, Elon's not going to see this. But if he did, he'd be like, "Damn, Jim invented the smartphone. LMAI made a capture of Mars, Phobos, Deimos, Mercury, and possibly Venus very easy." Yeah, I did. But the hard part will be within 50 years taking out getting these things off to Alpha Centauri. It's a little bit more challenge. We said do it really good down here, so I don't know why you're delaying not picking me up, Mr. Elon. And I'm with you with the human thing, but we're past humans doing work. All right, these robots. This part of the charm of interplanetary civilization is that the robots just bootstrap it up. Not going to be a lot of humans doing a lot of work in these places.